Hello guys! Recently LEGO officially released Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2, and so today we will discuss the entire Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2. What a long name, by the way. If you haven't watched it yet, this might be a perfect opportunity to get to know the main themes and plot, but if you want to have a better experience, I really recommend watching the entire season first and then this video. And now, let's start. After the ninjas stopped the merge in Season 1 Dragon's Rising, Lord Ras traveled to Wildness to open the doors of the Shadow Dojo and create a powerful army to carry out his plan. Meanwhile, Lloyd has terrifying visions about wolf mask warriors and the Blood Moon. He has a feeling that something terrible is about to happen. In the first episode, we also get to know new elemental master of smoke, Cinder, who is looking for some sort of ancient artifact. We later find out that it's called the Mallet of Shattering, and along with Gong of Shattering, they are used to give very mighty power to these wolf mask warriors. In the second episode, Lord Ras with his army appears in Cloud Kingdom to find the archives of the Forbidden Language. Euphrasia, who is new Master of Wind, tries to fight Cinder, but she loses and is knocked out of Cloud Kingdom. Later she shows up at the monastery and asks Ninja for help. She explains everything and together they are setting off to Cloud Kingdom. When the battle begins, the odds are even, but when Lord Ras uses Gong of Shattering, we see new spinjitzu technique, Shatter Spin, which is so powerful and devastating that it was forbidden. As you can guess, Ninja don't stand a chance against an army using Shatter Spin, and that's why they are retreating. After a terrible defeat, Ninja are frustrated and they don't know what to do. Lloyd asks Source Dragons for a clue and they give him one. Ninja are supposed to find an ancient master that will teach them how to fight Shatter Spin. They set off to find him. Lloyd's sense tells him to fly into a hole in the mountain and then into a phantasm cave. Some kind of monster puts them to sleep or something like that and shows them their biggest fears. But they somehow manage to beat this monster and they move on. At the end of this episode, we meet Egalt, a very powerful dragon who gets in the way of our ninja. Meanwhile, Wolf Mask clan attacks the Finders in the land of the Lost Things in order to get the component chip. Meanwhile, Ninja fight Egalt, who is running a test on them with another dragon, Rontu. Ninja work together to get to the door behind, which they think is their ancient master. They open the doors and see Rontu. Dragons tell them that it was all a test and that they passed. Dragons decide that they will teach Ninja how to fight Shatter Spin in order to stop Lord Ras' plan to bring back the Forbidden Five. Meanwhile, in the land of the Lost Things, the Finders find out that Bonzel is what Wolf Clan came for, and they protect her with all needs. Suddenly, Cole comes out of nowhere and helps them escape through the portal leading to Monastery of Spinjitzu. With the help of Zane, who stayed in Monastery, they fend off two Wolf Mask warriors and Sprite closes the portal gate behind them. After what happened, Bonzel states that she is an extremely powerful ancient spell and she tells Ninja her story. Long time ago, the Dragon Masters visited a very powerful sorceress, Gandalaria. They asked her for help in creating a spell to banish the Forbidden Five. This was a very powerful spell and because of that, it haven't faded away after banishing them. She'd been wandering the world for centuries until she met Master Wu, who helped her achieve physical form and find her family. She ends her story and Ninja immediately say that they need to find the sorceress that created Bonzel. Meanwhile, other ninja are training under the eye of Egalt and Rontu. Egalt says that Shatter Spin is all about power which can be overcome even by motion. He shows Ninja the Rising Dragon technique which is based on motion. At the end of this episode, we see Lord Ras who floats up into the air and speaks to his master, who tells him a new plan. In 6th episode, there isn't much happening compared to the 5th one. Arin by accident hurts Egalt's eye because of lacking stability during Spinjitzu, and he gets demoted to the Rontu group. Meanwhile, Zane and Cole are seeking map of the merged realms in the crossroads. They get one from Fedulian, which is fake, and it brings Ninja to Dorama's trap. They escape and kick Dorama's ass. And then Zane downloads map of the merged realms from the Imperium devices Dorama had, and they set off to Mysterium, where they find Monastery of Spinjitzu. Here, in another monastery, Ninja find Gandalaria, creator of Bonzl. They tell her that Bonzl is in great danger and ask the sorceress for help in protecting her from Lord Ras. Their conversation is interrupted by administration agents who demand the return of Zane. Meanwhile, Lloyd gets a vision about Blood Moon event, which is very close. Ninja immediately starts training hard and preparing for battle. Kai is frustrated that he can't do Rising Dragon technique. Nia, seeing her brother trying very hard, reminds him of a game that they were playing as a kids, and together they move through the obstacles, when Kai suddenly gets a burst of energy and manages to achieve Rising Dragon technique. After that, Blood Moon rises and both, Egalt and Ron, to turn into stone. Back at the second monastery, Ninja are trying to negotiate with administration agents, giving Bonzl some time to escape through the underground passages. Here, she meets Agent Walker. When Cole, Zane and Gandalaria fight the administration agents, Sprite shows Jay his reflection as a ninja. Zane disables administration mechs, Bonzl reconvenes with the rest of the group, and they set off to Wildness in order to find the magical storehouse, where Gandalaria stores her magical equipment that she can use to protect Bonzl. As they approach Wildness, they notice something unusual. There are wolf mask warriors everywhere, and they notice Cloud Kingdom in the air. Back at the dojo, Lloyd gets another vision about Blood Moon ritual that will start any minute. Ninja state that they must do everything in their power to stop it. While flying to Wildness, Ninja experience a huge unnatural storm caused by Jordana's spell, and Arin, Ryu, Lloyd and Nia fall out of the ship while the others crash on a ledge in a deep canyon. Somehow everyone manages to survive and they head towards the Blood Moon. Elsewhere, Zane, Cole, Gandalaria and Bonzl reach the magical storehouse, where Gandalaria finds a protective container and states that Bonzl would be safe in it. Bonzl hops in it and Sorceress begins to start the spell to seal the crate, but when she is almost done, red runes start to appear on the box, which means someone is using dark magic. Ninja try to get Bonzl out of the box, but are stopped by Imperium force field generator. Then Jordana appears and takes the protective container with Bonzl in it to Lord Ras. At the beginning of episode 9, we get flashbacks from Lord Ras' childhood when he got trapped in a chasm while trying to retrieve his ball. He remains unable to escape until a mysterious being appears. In the present time, Lord Ras orders to destroy Cloud Kingdom with monks in it. Meanwhile, in the magical storehouse, Ninja disable the force field and head towards Cloud Kingdom, which seems like it's losing altitude. Somewhere, Arin and Ryu spot Jordana's buggy passing by. They notice that she captured someone and run after her. Ryu manages to fly with Arin on his back and they catch up with Jordana. They throw her out of the buggy and are running away as far from Lord Ras as possible. Meanwhile, Kai, Sora and Wildfire get out of the canyon and dress up as wolf mask warriors. They reach the Shadow Dojo, where everything gets complicated. Lord Ras takes matters into his own hands and catches up with Arin, defeating him with ease. He says that Arin should find himself a true master to teach him strength, and he walks away with Bonzl. Cole, Zane and Gandalaria free Riders of Destiny in Cloud Kingdom and fix the flying mechanism with a little help of Euphrasia. Meanwhile, at the Shadow Dojo, Lord Ras uses Gong of Shattering and Ninja struggle to take off the masks that are trying to shatter their souls. They manage to take them off, but as soon as they burn the masks, they reveal themselves to Lord Ras' army and the battle begins. Sora immobilizes Cinder so that he can't use Shatterspin, while Kai and Wildfire fight wolf mask warriors and free the monks meant to be sacrifices to the Blood Moon. Raz opens the portal gate and we see the Forbidden Five behind it. When ninjas start losing and Kai is knocked out, Lloyd, Nia, Arin and Ryu come out of nowhere and join the fight. Cinder manages to get out from the Sora's trap, and with a little effort he manages to get a wolf mask and performs Shatter Spin. Suddenly, Kai shows up with his Rising Dragon technique and kicks his ass. Ninjas start doing well, but when Kai is busy fighting Cinder, Lord Raz throws his hammer at Kai and he is dragged into the portal as a sacrifice and Noct appears in his place. Determined Nia performs Rising Dragon technique and soon after her Lloyd does too. Lord Raz wants to throw Nia to the portal, but Arin throws a part of Kai's mech at Lord Raz, and with Sora's power it makes its way to Lord Raz and it prevents his plan. Arin doesn't know that Sora helped him, and that is very important in part 2 of this season, remember. Then Bonzel closes portal gate, and right before that one of the Forbidden Five members possesses Jordana. Lord Raz, seeing his army losing, asks his master for help, and later moves the Shadow Dojo and Lord Raz's army to some unknown place. Lord Raz puts a device on Noct that will make him obey. His master tells him that it was just a one step in his plan, and the next one is to conquer the Tournament of the Sources. When the main ninja group is reuniting with Zane and Cole, Kai with Bonzel try not to lose hope in the nether space. And that's the end of part 1. Part 2 starts at administration, where Arin and Sora have their first solo mission. They look for info about Arin's parents. They discover the records are missing as the department's manager, Agent Walker, abruptly quit. While searching, they are caught and forced to escape. Meanwhile, at the Monastery of Spinjitzu, Lloyd struggles with his visions and confides in Nia. They watch Wildfire practice her powers and reminisce about Kai. In the Kingdom of Madness, Arin and Sora find a dying mountain dragon matriarch whose crown of horns was stolen. She warns Lloyd telepathically about danger to the Source dragons. They discover her baby, the next matriarch, and decide to bring the little dragon to safety. Elsewhere, Raz oversees Cinder and Noct's training and prepares for the Tournament of the Sources. Lloyd's team is later intercepted by Imperium mercenaries hunting dragons. After scaring them off, they deliver the matriarch daughter to World Forest. Back at the monastery, the Source Dragon of Motion appears and reveals that Mountain Dragon Matriarch wasn't the only dragon with such high rank killed in past few days. 2 other dragons were killed and their horns were stolen too. She also tells that the map they found points to the City of Temples, where the ninja decide to enter the tournament to find the mysterious enemy. Many elemental masters in the merged realms receive invitations to the Tournament of the Sources, including some familiar faces like Euphrasia or Geo. Meanwhile, Wildfire and Nia fend off lava tides at Krill's junkyard and discuss their feelings about Kai's banishment to the Nether Space, where Kai hides from the Forbidden Five. Well, it's actually Forbidden 3 now, but it doesn't matter. At the monastery, Arin bakes a goodbye pie for the team, explaining to Sora that he can't compete in the tournament because he has no elemental powers. At the dojo, Lloyd sees Zane performing Rising Dragon technique and asks Ronto and Egalt to be the team's masters in the tournament, but they suggest Lloyd take on the role, which he eventually accepts after defeating them both in battle. Lloyd convinces Arin to come with them to the City of Temples as a detective to investigate the case of stolen dragon horns. The team reaches the City of Temples but are denied entry. They improvise by flying up on their dragons, but robotic guards intercept them. Most of the team makes it to the top, where the tournament's games master Robbie invites them to compete. I mean most of the team, because Arin and Ryu get captured by the guards. Frak, Arin's old friend, saves him from the guards, and we see a retrospection about how they met. Years before the merge, Arin was practicing Spinjitzu when 2 kids mocked him for liking the ninja. Frak scared them off and they became friends. In the present, Frag shows off his new Quake powers. He explains how he discovered his abilities, but declines Arin's invite to hang out as he needs to train. Lloyd then informs Arin they are invited to the Tournament of the Sources and introduces him to Robbie and Blecht. As they explore the City of Temples, Robbie explains the tournament rules, its origins, and tells Ninja about banquet before the tournament. At the banquet, the ninja meet other elemental masters. Sora gets pulled aside by Jordana, who suddenly acts strangely, while Whitefire tries to confront Cinder but is stopped by security. Meanwhile, Lloyd bumps into Lord Ras, who wants to win the tournament. Robbie gives a speech which is interrupted by Empress Beatrix's sister, Zeatrix. Later, the ninja discuss who might have killed the Dragon Matriarch, each suspecting different people. That night, a mysterious figure sneaks into their quarters and tries to stab Lloyd. The ninja capture the intruder, revealing it's a bot, with more similar bots thrown in by Ras and Zur, elemental master of Reflex. Tox, this Tox from Season 4, identifies the weapon's poison as coming from the Mother Garden, leading the group to suspect Xantans, the snail from Mother Garden, yes, he is here, who voluntarily leaves the tournament to ease tensions. As everyone returns to their quarters, Nia spots Jay in the crowd and tries to get him to no avail. At the beginning of 14th episode we get a scene in which Master Wu tells Ninja to dance. Jay invites Nia to dance, professing his love for her. In the present, Arin tells Sora he doubts Xantans was behind the stabbed attempt and decides to investigate the matriarch's death with Ryu. Arin recalls his mother's advice to retrace people's steps. Ryu leads them to a wall with a strange symbol. Later they meet Wildfire, who interacts with Robbie in a strange way, before heading to the games plaza. Elsewhere, Cole and Geo discover the elemental earth mech, which Cole believes belonged to his mother. Meanwhile, Sora meets Jordana, who denies saying something suspicious before. Sora then warns Arin that Frag is on Ra's side, but Arin refuses to believe her. In Netherspace, Kai and Bonzul discover the Forbidden Five plotting their escape. At the games plaza, Wildfire almost clashes with Cinder before Lloyd reminds the team of their duty to fight honorably. Zane loses to Zur in a match, with his ice mysteriously melting too fast, raising suspicion. The next fight is between Nia and Jay, who is on Ra's team and no longer remembers Ninja. They fight with Nia trying to avoid hurting him, while Jay accuses her of lying about his past, repeating Ra's lies. Jay, under Ra's control, uses Shatter Spin, but Nia wins the match with Rising Dragon technique, and Jay's power is transferred to her. Nia confesses her love to him, and Jay says that he hates her. In Netherspace, Kai realizes his connection to Ryu through glowing scales, allowing Ryu to hear him. During the merge, Master Wu tells Nia only Unity could save them. Later, Nia and Ninja seek Jay in the Ras team quarters. Ras tells them that Jay left the City of Temples and urges Ninja to go after him. Nia feels the team isn't united without Jay, but Lloyd promises they will find him after the tournament ends. Arin is upset and doubts that they will find Jay, as they still haven't found Arin's parents. The next day, Nia is furious and trains, venting her anger. Lloyd advises her to remain calm and focus on preventing Ras from winning. At the games plaza, Sora wins her fight against Kizzy, elemental master of balance, and receives her power. Robbie announces that the next fight is between Wildfire and Cinder. Wildfire tries, but doesn't stand a chance against Cinder, who is using Shatter Spin. Later in the night, Cinder shows up and insults Ninja. He pretends to be attacked by the ninja in order to exile them out of the tournament. Zane invokes Cavern Run that can give Ninja immunity from exile. At the race, Ninja show up with the combo vehicle and are told the rules of the race. Meanwhile, Arin with Ryu sneak into Wolf Clan's quarters, both for different reasons. Ryu finds a stone that glows whenever Kai speaks, and Arin finds out that Frag is on Ra's team. While searching, they get caught by Lord Ras, who explains to Arin that Sora powered the object that took Ras out, but Arin refuses to believe so. He also says that his goal is to reverse the merge and that it was caused by Master Wu. Ras adds that he is always perceived as a bad guy and Ninja are always the good guys. Meanwhile, Ninja overtake the Space Dragon and win the race, getting immunity from being exiled from the tournament. Later at the game's plaza, Beatrix wins her fight with Euphrasia, receiving her power, and Noct defeats Tox ruthlessly. After that fight, Sora overhears Noct calling Jordana's sister. Meanwhile, Arin informs Frag about the evil Ras has done, but the latter doesn't believe him. Frag shows him some moves he learned from Lord Ras, and Arin manages to do a proper Spinjitzu tornado. Back at the game's plaza, Lloyd defeats Mr. Pale, receiving his power, and due to the lack of his elemental power, we get to see his face for the first time. After that, Cole fights Frag but loses because of the course, which seems to be made for Frag's power of Quake. Meanwhile, Arin asks Sora about faking his object Spinjitzu with her elemental power, and she admits doing it, saying that she wanted Arin to succeed. Elsewhere, Ras says his goal in the tournament is to gain control of the elemental powers to create dragon icons used to summon the source dragons. Later, Robbie announces Nia and Noct as the next competitors. They have to get majority of 3 gems to win the fight. Noct uses Shatter Spin and Nia performs Rising Dragon technique to counteract it. When Nia is about to grab the last gem, it suddenly teleports right next to Noct, making him the winner. Next, Sora fights Cinder and defeats him using her tech powers. Meanwhile, Ras tells Arin that he may know where his parents are, as he knows everything what Jay knows. Later in the night, Ras watches Arin practicing Spinjitzu. Elsewhere, Yellow Orb shows Cole a mysterious monastery laying on the other side of a deep abyss. In Nether Space, Kai and Bones look for an opportunity to communicate with Ryo. Meanwhile, Ryo transfers his powers to Nia and it enables her to talk with Kai. As they talk to each other, Nia and Ryo get captured by the intruders. Later, Lloyd gets another vision, this time about Beatrix and the sword that shatters. Meanwhile, Arin looks for clues in Temple City Museum where he finds the same symbol on the Robbie's cufflink that he found with Ryo on the wall. Later, at the game's plaza, Frag defeats Zur with helpful tips he got from Cole about his earth power. Multiple fights take place, leaving Lloyd, Frag, Noct, Beatrix and Sora in the tournament. Then Robbie declares a bonus fight between Beatrix and Lloyd, who is afraid. Robbie explains that whoever knocks the other opponent off the platform with a weapon acquired in the round will win. As they start their fight, Lloyd tries to grab the sword from his vision before Beatrix does. Lloyd seems to be rather running than fighting, just like if his loss was inevitable. While fighting, they break the platform and Robbie announces a short intermission. Sora tells Lloyd that he is losing to his own fear and encourages him to face the fear using Lloyd's words. Determined Lloyd decides to fight and grabs a hammer and, along with the power of size, knocks Beatrix off the platform, making Lloyd the winner. As Lloyd celebrates, furious Beatrix tracks him down, shattering the sword and knocking Lloyd off the platform, leaving him unconscious. When Robbie comes with Beatrix to transfer her elemental powers to Lloyd, they find him still laying unconscious in the bed. Robbie informs Ninja that Beatrix will be banned from future tournaments and will also be expelled from the City of Temples, which Ninja think isn't a good enough punishment. Beatrix loses her temper and prepares to attack, but Robbie quickly takes away her powers. Later, at the game's plaza, Sora fights Frag, who is preparing to use a wolf mask for the first time. He remembers what Arin told him about these masks, that they give you power but also make your soul shatter. This makes him throw the mask away and continue fighting honestly. Eventually, Frag falls out of the arena and loses. After that fight, Jordana comes up to Sora and hands her a note with an Imperium math equation. Meanwhile, Whitefire and Arin try to break into Robbie and Black's office, where they find the same symbol on the bottom of Black's cane that's on Robbie's cufflinks. They find a secret room which they believe belongs to Black, as everywhere are pictures with scribbles on Robbie's face. Later, Sora asks Arin for help in deciphering Jordana's note. Arin realizes it means horns are in the monastery, and Cole says that it might be the same monastery he was guided to. While Lloyd is unconscious, he has another vision about Arin being on Wolf Warrior's side. Source Dragon of Motion says that he must win, and he wakes up. Meanwhile, at the game's plaza, Robbie announces Noct and Lloyd as the next competitors. He's about to make Noct the winner cause of Lloyd laying unconscious, but latter shows up at the last minute and the fight begins. Suddenly, Black stops the fight and explains that Lloyd is too unwell to fight and declares Noct the winner. Meanwhile, Cole uses a Titan Dragon Mech to build a rock bridge to the monastery. When Cole with Arin reach the other side, floating orbs around them turn into Master Wu's spirit. At the beginning of 19th episode there is a flashback of Forbidden Five in the wilderness where they lay waste. Noct brought the leader of the tribe from which Lord Rast probably comes from to the Shadow Dojo. Zarkar, that's his name, asks how could them and why have they done so much evil to his tribe. This shows us how powerful and evil Forbidden Five actually is. In the present, Jordana asserts that Forbidden Five will continue their mission of destruction. Wildfire swaps Black's ledger with many from the banquet in order to collect evidence of his guilt. Zur helps her read out the ledger written in his language and find some evidence for his betrayal. Meanwhile, at the Games Plaza, Robbie announces the final game where Sora faces Noct. Sora uses her new elemental powers to defend from Shatter Spin and she performs a cracked version of Spinjitzu for the first time. She uses her tech powers to transform the control device on the back of his head to a robotic bee and sting him. When she is about to win the fight, the platform starts to move, giving Noct time to get up. Then, Noct makes a powerful attack and defeats Sora. When Robbie is about to transfer Sora's power to Noct, Wildfire arrives and accuses the tournament of being rigged. She shows Robbie Black's ledger and Robbie cancels the victory celebration. Noct seizes an opportunity, stealing the tournament cup and gaining all the powers. Noct refuses to listen to Raz and tells him that he has a new plan. Raz tries to use a control device but it doesn't work since Sora had turned it into a bee. Jordana calls Noct his brother and Raz realizes that Rox has been inhabiting Jordana's body since the Blood Moon ritual. We get to know that they were responsible of killing 3 dragon matriarchs and that Rast had nothing to do with it. Noct explains that he plans to use the dragon horns and stolen elemental powers to free the rest of the Forbidden Five. Rast turns red and he summons his Wolf Mask Warriors army. Due to the Forbidden Five creating them, Rox is able to control the Wolf clan, tap into their true power and allow them to manifest energy claws from their backs. She orders the Wolf clan to eliminate everyone in sight. Meanwhile, Cole and Arin find the stolen dragon horns at the monastery where they are told by Master Wu himself that he caused the merge. At the Games Plaza the battle begins. Noct and Rox fly over to the Monastery of Gates. Meanwhile, Arin with Zane arrive to the monastery and see Cole struggles to pull the dragon horns. Suddenly, the gate in the middle of the monastery shakes and Cole destroys it using his mech. Nia with Ryu run out from behind it and we get to know who captured them. Noct and Rox. Who could have fought? Ninjas see Rox and Noct flying towards the monastery and the ninja fight them using Rising Dragon technique. Meanwhile, at the Games Plaza, Raz jumps onto Robbie's flying platform and together they fly towards the monastery. Ninja follow their example and rush to the monastery in the ninja combo vehicle. Meanwhile, Jordana freezes Nia, Zane and Cole using a static spell. Noct tries to free the remaining Forbidden Five, but Arin and Ryu shove him away and Arin knocks him using Spinjitzu. Raz and Robbie arrive, and when the latter is about to take away his powers, Noct uses elemental power of heat, making Raz let go of him. After that, he uses a shockwave to push Robbie off and releases the rest of the Forbidden Five. Rock's soul leaves Jordana, who removes the static spell, and Lloyd, Sora and Wildfire arrive. Arin helps lift a boulder of Raz, expressing his desire to find his parents with Raz's help. The ninja join the battle against Noct, who defeats most of them until Ryu points out the crown of horns. Nia blasts it, freeing Kai and Bonzel. Kai fights Noct and Robbie uses the elemental cap to restore powers. Rox and Noct flee with Raz with Arin pursuing. The portal gate explodes, leaving Arin alone on the other side while the ninja celebrate Kai's return. Later, at the Games Plaza, Robbie honors the ninja and names Sora the tournament winner. Sora talks with Lloyd about her falling out with Arin, wondering if he wants to be found. Meanwhile, Robbie and Wildfire do some weird stuff. Later, Ninja use the Monastery of Gates to teleport to Monastery of Spinjitzu. Nia talks with Kai about finding Jay, while Source Dragon of Motion appears in the courtyard of the monastery. She gives Lloyd a dragon icon in form of a weapon. Elsewhere, Arin lights a fire and tells the unconscious Ras how the ninja failed him and that he wants Ras to help him find his parents. And that's the whole Dragon's Rising Season 2 story. I really liked Kai in this season, he was just Sigma Kai, okay? Sorry for that. I hope you liked the video, and if so, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you want more of videos like this, where I shorten the entire season, and I'll see you soon in my next video.